Hi guys, I want to talk to you about something that's very important to me, which is teeth, mouth, hygiene, all of that stuff. The mouth is the window to the face, and I hope your window is pretty and beautiful. And here's a way you can keep it that way. It's Quip. Quip is an electric toothbrush, and it's loved by over 7 million mouths. It has timed sonic vibrations with 30-second pulses to guide a dentist-recommended 2-minute clean. It's lightweight, and it has a sleek design with no wires or bulky charger to weigh you down. It's got reusable handles and a range of sleek metal hues, including best-selling all black and all pink, as well as bright plastic colors to make sure to pop your bathroom counter. Beyond the brush, Quip has everything you need to build a complete routine. It's got anti-cavity toothpaste and 2 ways to floss, a floss string that expands to clean, and reusable floss pick that replaces over 180 disposable picks with every refill. I love this electric toothbrush, especially because I hate all these bulky wires that you don't know what to do with in your bathroom. It makes everything so ugly. This is a sleek design, and it's fabulous, and it makes everything so easy and effortless. If you go to getquip.com/bald right now, you'll get your first refill free. That's your first refill free at getquip.com/bald. Spelled GETQUIP.com/bald. Quip, the good habits company. Okay, guys, listen. Let's talk about streaming. Okay, let's talk about location. As a person who travels, and I am often horrified to find out that my favorite things on Netflix are not available where I currently am. That's when I look to ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN allows me to unlock movies and shows that are only available in other countries, such as Fresh Prince of Bel-Air on Australia Netflix, or How I Met Your Mother on Germany Netflix, or Rick and Morty on France's Netflix. ExpressVPN lets you change your online location so you can control where you want sites to think you're located. You open the app, select a location, tap one button to connect, and refresh the page to access thousands of new shows and movies. You can choose from almost 100 different countries. And it works with any streaming service, Hulu, BBC iPlayer, YouTube, you name it. Now, here's the thing. Not only does it let you change your location, it encrypts your data and lets you surf the web safely and anonymously. So if you happen to be a certain way in a certain kind of country, this is something you really need to do. You can stream in HD, no problem, no buffering or lag. It's compatible with all your devices, phones, laptop, media consoles, smart TVs, and more. I love this because I was in, I forget where I was on the road, and I wanted to watch Twin Peaks and Rick and Morty on Netflix, and I couldn't, but then ExpressVPN, boom, boom, there I was. Fabulous. Go to expressvpn.com/bald to get an extra 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. expressvpn.com/bald. All right, welcome to another episode of The Bald and the Beautiful. Today is a very special day, you fucking whores.
It really is.
It is a special day. This is a wonderful day.
And we haven't even been having guests because honestly, I just don't care anymore. But
fuck everybody except we have an exception in the building. We're not in the building, but his building, but via satellite. From my top 3 favorite show of all time, I would say. Top 3 favorite shows of all time. A very incredible superstar actor that me and Trixie are unreasonably enormous fans of. From What We Do in the Shadows, he plays Guillermo. It's Harvey Guillén. Welcome!
Hi.
I'm going to shit and piss. I'm so glad you're not in the same room as me. I'm going to shit and piss in these little panties right now. Thank you so much for being here.
I wish I was there. Thank you for having me. I wish I was there. I would enjoy all of that, pissiness.
I just want to warn you, Harvey, like we're going to come on strong because nobody thinks that you are a superior star of television more than we do.
Yeah.
We are obsessed with What We Do in the Shadows, and you are our favorite part of that show. You make the show.
Well,
that's really sweet. And I'm a fan of both of you. It's so funny because I keep getting friends who send me the clips of you guys talking about the show, and I was like, bitch, I already saw it. I watched their show.
Yeah. And it's hard to say that you are the favorite when it's an ensemble show where there's truly not a weak link period ever.
No, not one weak link.
There's never a joke that doesn't land. There's never a costume that's not amazing. But I can't believe in a show about vampires, you are you're like the Jim Halpert of it. It's so good.
Yeah.
I'm the only human. I'm the only human in the show. Yeah.
I mean, I'm a huge vampire fan, since I was 10 or even earlier. And I would assume that the non-vampire main character would be the least interesting, and you fucking steal the show every goddamn episode, and it's just so good. It's so good. It's
it's
so good.
Funny because Guillermo was in that. He didn't talk a lot in the first season. If you look back at the first season, I think I talked to you about this, Trixie. Like it was just like it was not scripted that he talked a lot. He was there as a familiar. And he was more like just almost like wallpaper, really. Like he was there as the sidekick to Nandor and would talk once in a while because he was afraid to speak out. And then it was just through like facial expressions that we told a story. All of season 1, it was just my face that was just telling the story. The audience was like, oh, I see what's happening. There's something there going on. So it's so funny that you say that. But I don't think that was the intention for Guillermo originally. But here we are.
When did you start taping the show? What year?
It was 2018. We shot the pilot. We shot the pilot in LA, and then we got picked up and we moved to Toronto, where I'm currently now shooting. We're halfway through season 4. Yesterday was
thank fucking God.
They announced that you guys were, I think, picked up for 2 seasons, like right away last year. So like as I was starting watching 3, I think it was announced that you were already doing like more than one more season, and I just felt such comfort because on a show this weird. You know, I always have like freaks and geeks syndrome where like, what if something really fierce only has 1 season? Do you know what I mean? Like I'm always afraid of that because sometimes it's the amazing shows that fly under the radar. And I just have to say, like, normally when we have guests on the pod, I have to like Wikipedia them and try to get myself psyched up to figure out what I'm in.
I didn't have to do any fucking research today. So
like, I do not have to pretend to be enthusiastic about your work. Obviously having like a queer person of color be like a star is great. But bitch, like, did you guys know, like, when you were shooting that pilot, could you feel it? Like, oh, this is some shit.
Yeah, I think I remember shooting the pilot. And first of all, I never had a chemistry with Kayvon, which is unheard of. You usually have a chemistry with, like, your counterpart. They had cast everyone in the show already. I was the last person to get cast. They had already booked. Matt was the first one. And then it was, I think, Kayvon and Natasha and Mark. And then I was the last one, and they were starting production in a week, and they haven't found a Guillermo. Guillermo was written 20 years older than I am. So I wasn't even right for the role. And so when I went into the audition, it was a courtesy audition because I went to a wine and cheese night, and I met this girl at a wine and cheese night who said, "You're so fucking funny. You should audition for my fiance's new show." And I was like, okay, I'm not falling for that. But sure, why not? And then I looked into it, and it was What We Do in the Shadows, and they gave me a courtesy audition. And I went in there, and I parted my hair in the middle, and I got these Harry Potter glasses. Popped them out. I wore this gross like sweater vest. I was like, if this doesn't make me stand out, I know I'm not right for the role age-wise, but this will make me like pop and she'll remember me, Allison Jones, who I wanted to impress, the casting director. Cut to an hour later after the audition, they're like, yeah, it's unanimous. You're going to test with Kayvon. And I was like, that's insane. And I was like, so looking forward to it. I never got the call to test. It was Martin Luther King weekend. And I got a call from a 16-digit number. And I was like, my sister, she'll pick up the fucking phone. And I was like, oh my God. And I picked up, I was like, hey, is this Javi? And I was like, yeah. Hey, it's Jermaine and Taika. Oh, hi. Yes, I'm testing for you. He's like, no, you're not testing. We'll see you on set.
That's like some magic story shit that never happens.
Yeah. That's so Hollywood. If I ever heard a story, if you told me that story, I wouldn't believe it. And it was happening to me at that time. And I was like, this is insane. I looked at my sister.
You're like, am I being scammed? Are they going to ask me to send $5,000?
Yeah, seriously.
And the name of 20, and then like 20 friends' names.
Yeah. I probably would have done. I probably would, honestly, like full confession, I would have done it. But then I just remember I never had chemistry with Kayvon. It was Sunday. I got the call. Martin Luther King was Monday. Tuesday, I had a fitting. And Wednesday, I was on set. We were starting to shoot the pilot, and I never had a chemistry with Kayvon. I met him, and I was like, please make this work. And I just met him, and he just talked, and I was like, oh my God. It was like, he's such a wonderful comedian, actor, such a giving actor that I was like, this could have gone easily, the other way. So after we shot the pilot, I felt something good. I felt like if this doesn't get picked up, what a shame. But if it doesn't get picked up, I'm really proud of the work, and I want that reel because this is a really funny show. It's like, so I just felt this like crackle, to the show that I was like, man, this is good. If this gets legs, like we have a good show here. And lucky for us, we got picked up.
I mean, how many scripts do you read that you're like, that you feel genuinely excited about?
I mean, there's a lot of scripts that I think the question is how many scripts do I read that I'm not excited about?
Well, yeah, I mean, I would assume that's the majority, right?
That's the majority. Yeah. Like you read stuff, especially like, you know, being an actor who's normally just playing character roles, you see it the same note. You know, it's like the guy next door, the nerd, the hacker. You just get the same roles over and over. And so this for Guillermo was so different that I was like, this is unique, this is different. And Guillermo didn't have a last name. And I remember being on set the first couple of weeks and I asked Jermaine, one of the creators, I was like, can I give him a last name? And he says, oh yeah, what you thinking? And I was like, I don't know, something like De La Cruz. And he goes, what does that mean? And I was like, oh, it means of the cross. Is that okay? Or is that like, you know? And he's like, no, that's perfect. Because he knew the storyline before I did. I didn't know about the
Vampire Slayer
the
lineage.
Vampire Slayer.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Like even before that storyline, like somebody who desperately wants to be a vampire with their last name is of the cross is funny.
I know, it is really funny. It is really funny.
And oh my God, your show has one of the most like iconic opening sequences that I'm telling you, I watch it every time.
I never skip it. We talked about that yesterday. I can't believe I don't skip the intro ever. It's so good.
Did you see the little differences in this last season where, spoiler alert if you haven't seen it, but when something happens to Colin, like in the opening, his pictures disappear and they're missing. In the opening sequence.
I didn't even notice that.
Never clocked that. By the way, we watch it every time and never clocked that. So I'm not saying it's not effective. I'm saying we're stupid.
Yeah, also, I'm stupid. There was the episode where Kayvon, they sing the opening in Farsi.
Yes. Yep. I remember that one. That's right. Yeah, because it was his what? It was his
It was when he was going through a crisis and he joins the cult.
Bitch. Katya and I were ready for that storyline to go on for
all season.
The whole, like several more episodes.
It's like a highest rated episode.
It's so fucking weird. Crazy. Yeah. It's so weird. You're like, where is this going? And then spoiler alert, they all die. I love that she just leads them out into the light.
Nandor's new wig is so fucking funny in that episode.
It's so feathered and it's so 1980s. Yeah. I love it. And Cree Summer, who guest stars in that episode, who, if you know, she's the voice of everything you've ever loved as your childhood. Like she was Penny in Inspector Gadget.
No way.
Cree is also in Rugrats. Remember, she's the best friend to Angelica.
Oh my God.
Susie.
Incredible.
Oh, yeah.
That's her voice. Yeah. And so she's in everything and she's amazing. And also it leaves a window for her to come back because remember, all her followers died. Except for her. She's back to the drawing board.
I mean,
and you know what I like about it too? It's like you guys season 1 were weird, right? But then it's like as you got your audience support and maybe whoever pays the bills believes in you more, you guys have gotten more and more foolish.
Yeah.
And more absurd and more flashy with the effects and the money. And it's just so good. It's like someone's just pouring gas in the tank so you guys get to be bigger and bigger freaks.
And also,
it's so crazy. It's like we look at it, you know, just where like I always look back at that episode with the Baron where he eats pizza pie. We're like a cartoon. Like he eats pizza pie and he vomits profusely, like deflates like a balloon in air. It's just
crazy.
That's crazy.
And your action sequences are fucking fierce. Where you and Nander go at it, it was like, they're so good.
It's so like, good. I had, again, no idea that was happening. Like if you would have told me in the first week of filming that Guillermo at one point would be a Van Helsing and be kicking ass and like trying to like attack Nandor because it's emotion. He's driven by emotion.
Yeah,
you know, he's frustrated. What is that kind of love that he has with him? We don't know. Is it romantic? It's yet to be shown, but there's definitely, you know, sometimes you love someone so much and it could be a friendship, but you're just trying to shake the nonsense out of them. So like doing those sequences are like amazing. Like my favorite is that like we ad-lib like plancha. That was all me.
That
like,
was so funny.
And I go, plancha! And they jump up. And then we tell you, everyone went crazy on the internet. They're like, oh my God, my childhood. Because, you know, if you grew up watching other, you know, WWE, like wrestling, or if you watch, you know, Lucha Libre.
Yeah, sure.
If you're Latinx, you know, you watch that when you're little. And those are the moves that you recreated as a child. So bringing that back to Guillermo's fight scene was like the chef's kiss for me.
Oh
I know. Like, I feel like you accidentally are living like every gay boy's dream. Who would have known that you literally would go be like Sarah Michelle Gellar?
Yeah,
like you're just Buffy now.
Totally. And I love that you're like, but living with vampires and like protecting them from their own like just vulnerable stupidity. I mean, they're so clueless and they don't know what's going on. And then you're so competent and so on top of it and so overworked. I'd like your character is just so great. It's so
I love that you caught that because it's like they live in their own world. The vampires live in their own world. All they think about is lust and feeding. Yeah. And that's pretty much it. Because after you've been alive for hundreds and hundreds of years and you've seen it all, you've done it all, you start like, zoning out. You're like, whatever.
They're like ancient babies. They're like ancient babies.
It reminds me of like absurdly rich people, how they sort of become incompetent.
Yeah.
Like money makes you sort of just a shell of like, what else? Who cares?
Like they can't pump their own gas. Like they can't go to a gas station and pump their own gas.
Where she tried to turn the TV on with a paperweight and it's just like,
oh my God.
So good.
Also the RuPaul cameo was so fucking funny this week.
Oh my God. Can I tell you a story about that? So that was the scene, that was the last episode of the finale. And that scene when Taika says, "Yes, Queen," and it's like, "You didn't take over RuPaul's Drag Race," and then it shows like RuPaul at the end of his message.
Yeah.
And then at the end, I remember I record all the RuPaul's Drag Race. That was scripted, and then my wild line, I literally they said you can throw in like what you want to say. So I literally said something like, "You're gonna fall." Like, I recorded all of RuPaul's Drag Race. Also, you're gonna fall in love with Trixie and Katya. And I literally said that in the take, and I hope that it make it. It didn't make it, but I said it.
Fucker. I would have jizzed. I would have jizzed myself.
You know why it didn't make it? Because it would have been a lie. He was not going to fall in love with us. He was going to hate us.
Yeah. I watched, who is the actor that plays Nander? What is his name?
Kayvon Novak.
I watched a couple of interviews with him, and it is so bizarre to hear him talk in a not crazy accent.
Not Nandor, yeah.
He's so hot. I find him so fucking attractive. Oh my God.
He's like honey to bees. Like every woman that passes by, like it's just like him. Like he is just. And the worst part is that he's so charming and nice that it's like you almost wish someone who was like funny and like good looking be an asshole.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's literally the nicest person ever. And you're just like, yep, like you're a good guy. Like you're a nice guy and amazing, funny. Like he's like, I couldn't have asked for a better like scene partner. He's like the best.
My God.
You also really lucked out with your character because I mean they do have you in drag. Like your look changes a little bit. But your cast members, besides Colin, they are in drag every day.
Yeah, they're
every day.
Yeah, that's
every day. You know how long the first season it would take everyone to get ready? Because I feel bad for Natasha because in the first season she would wear corsets and petticoats and boots, like Victorian boots. Even though you would never see her shoes because the petticoats and the dresses are so long, unless she was flying, she could wear Uggs. You would not know the difference. But the costume designer was like putting her in like high ankle, Victorian shoes. And she had to be in those for 16-hour days. And my hat goes off to her, but she had the toughest and she had to make up and she had to do. And the first season, it was her own hair they were using.
Oh,
no. So they were doing a lot of stuff with her own hair. And eventually they caught on. They're like, you know what? It's probably faster if we do
way faster.
Yeah.
And for that length of hair too, styling that length of hair, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Touch-ups.
Yeah. And it was so time consuming. So I think they figure it out. And I always say Naja has the hardest getting ready. Guillermo, season 1, I literally would put my sweater vest 5 minutes before we're on stage.
That's what I mean. You got so lucky.
Dream come true.
And now with last season of the Van Helsing with the vest and it's fitted, and our costume designer who's amazing. Like we work really close together. I'm trying to figure out what these things are for the character. So we wanted to have him more fitted, a little more comfortable in his own skin. He's showing a little more figure because usually he's frumpy. Oversized sweaters. He doesn't show off anything, like no arms, never see his waist. And now it's like the cut is like, vest is cut to the waist. The pants are like tucked into the boot. So you're seeing a little more of this figure because, Guillermo's got curves. So you got to show it off.
Is there something interfering with your happiness, hon? What about a roadblock preventing you from achieving Happy Town? Well, in that case, BetterHelp could be of some assistance. Yes, they could assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. Attending to our mental health is imperative in these trying times, or in any times at all, to be quite honest. So I'm here to tell you that there is an online therapeutic service that could greatly improve your chances at being a fulfilled, happy, and healthy member of society. BetterHelp. Connect with them in a safe and private online environment. Oh, it's convenient. It's not a crisis line, though. No. It's not self-help. It is, in fact, professional counseling done securely online. Send a message to your counselor, and guess what? You'll get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. All of this without ever having to sit in an uncomfortably orange waiting room chair. Licensed professional counselors are on call with specializations in the following subjects: depression, stress, anxiety, relationships, sleeping, trauma, anger, family conflicts, LGBTQIA matters, grief, self-esteem, and so much more. It's convenient, professional, affordable, and everything you share is totally confidential. So many people have been using BetterHelp that they're recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states and even Guam. I want you to start living a happier life today. As a listener, you'll get 10% off your first month by visiting our sponsor at betterhelp.com/bald. Join over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health. Again, that's BetterHelp, HELP.com/bald. Ho, 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 gentlemen. The holidays came here at Manscaped, the leading men's hygiene brand. They just launched their new products, including all new ultra premium body wash and a 2-in-1 shampoo and
I love it. You know, I love it. Give me that.
Yeah.
I'll let you know. The ultra premium body wash and 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner, you guys, it smells so good. It's these big aluminum sexy cans with a pump. When you pump that sucker, you get a heavy goop dose. It's so nice. I've been using it for like 5 days. I love it. Go to manscaped.com and use BALD for 20% off and free shipping. Jingle balls to the walls. Fellas, listen up. You guys, untrimmed pubes are a thing of the past. And you know me, Trixie and Katya, I love hairy men. I once slept with a guy in Australia and I could play cat's cradle with the hair on his shoulders. I love hair, but I like trimmed. Trimmed, right? It's like you want to have carpet in your house and actually like trim it because it grows.
Dogs.
Yeah. Inside the Performance Package 4.0, you'll find the signature lawnmower. I use this to shave my head every other day, and it's fabulous. The skin-safe technology makes it pretty much impossible to cut your nuts and your head. It's also waterproof, so you can use it in the shower. You can cut it in the shower, and if you don't know, when hair is wet, it's like 60% stretchier and actually a lot easier to cut, so I recommend that. The hygiene bundle will also come with a pair of Manscaped anti-chafing boxers. It'll keep your junk feeling fresh all day. We love fresh. So delicious, so refreshing. 'Tis the season to load up on Manscaped products. So get yourself, your dad, your brother, your friends, the best gift of all, the Manscaped Performance Package. And you know, you don't even, it's anybody who's hairy. Really, anybody could use this product.
Yeah.
Even if you don't identify as a male or a man, be Manscaped. It's fabulous. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code BALD at manscaped.com. Every guy out there needs to add Manscaped to their wish list this season. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code BALD at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code BALD at manscaped.com. That's 20% off free shipping at manscaped.com and use the code BALD. Clean up your nuts and make Santa proud this year. It's fabulous, you guys. Love the lawnmower, and I love the shampoo and conditioner and body wash. It's fabulous. There's also, I mean, what a gift too. Like, there's nothing funnier than somebody who desperately wants to be a vampire, right? That's already funny. And then he's just never getting the release of like actually that. But then adding accidentally being really good at killing vampires is so funny.
Yeah, it's so funny. And also,
when you killed the Baron, like, that was the funniest fucking thing I'd ever seen.
He went out to get roses and he came back and he was, I'm back with the
just so funny. And I'm so happy the Baron is back now, like a crispy critter.
Oh my God. Doug Jones. And also another, you know, if you remember all of your childhood like favorites, he was Billy in Hocus Pocus. Remember Billy with this like sewn up mouth?
No way.
That was him. He's all Billy. And he like cuts his mouth open and moths come out. That's Doug Jones.
Wow.
Doug Jones is the Baron. And do you remember, like, this is like maybe I saw reruns of this online, but remember Mac the Knife, like McDonald's, like Crescent Moon that played the piano and the McDonald's commercials? Like maybe this is like 90s. Maybe it was 80s, I don't know. But like I've seen it online. That's him. He was like the first like giant Big Mac, like Crescent Moon guy.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
what a career.
Yeah. That was him. Yeah. And he's the creature in Shape of Water. Remember the movie Shape of Water?
Oh, I did know that too.
Damn, what a fucking career. Shit.
And I mean, I know we're on, is it end of season 3 now?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I know that this is going back to, but when you think of the quality of the prosthetics in the pilot, how is that a pilot of a comedy show?
Yeah.
I mean, and then like when the Baron comes out of that coffin, I was like, this is fucking crazy. This is like Blade or some shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. when he just his hands just like the opening and just like the exaggeration. He was in makeup. He's such a trooper. He's used to it now because he does so many like characters that are creatures and prosthetic. But he was in makeup for like 3.5 hours, I think.
Oh, that's not bad.
That doesn't seem bad.
That's not bad. I mean, we do makeup sometimes for 2.5, like with costumes and everything.
Yeah. You know? So it's you're right. Everyone's in drag.
Yeah,
but you know what though? I feel worse for people like him because I think laying there would be worse than doing it yourself. Actually, you have something to do, so time moves forward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but I think laying there would be so fucking hard, or like just sitting there while people.
Not if it's like 4 a.m. though.
Oh really? You just go to sleep.
Like Silky the other day, we had an early call time for Drag Race. She had to get up at 3:30 to have her makeup done. She was dead asleep for 2 hours.
Yeah,
while the makeup artist just did it.
Yeah,
she had a makeup artist.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
Are we the only people who don't have makeup artists at this point?
I don't want one. Nobody.
I don't either. I don't either.
Yeah. Anyways, so
but you're right. It is time consuming. Like either you're doing something. Even I'm not in the makeup chair for that long, but I always like bring my sides or bring like my phone or something because you want to be doing something because otherwise the first it's not your first rodeo. Like the first time you do like a show and stuff. I remember my first show ever, and I was on a show called Misguided, and it was Ashton Kutcher produced it, and Judy Greer starred in it. It was
I love her.
We love Judy.
We love
her.
And
it was my first thing ever, so I got to go to the makeup chair and I was so excited. I was like watching everything and I was like talkative, and I was just like so engaged with everything. And then after like a while, like, oh yeah, they don't want to hear you talk at 5 a.m.
Shut the fuck up, bitch. It's 5 a.m. Damn.
It's 5 a.m. And you're so cheering. You're like, oh my God, is everyone having a great time? And everyone's like, oh, okay, close your eyes and close your mouth.
Yeah. Oh, that's too bad. That's funny.
Well, I think you set the tone, right? If it sounded like an Uber where if you start talking, they'll talk to you, but if you say nothing, they won't. Right?
I've been in many situations where the Uber has shushed me.
Oh,
it's like the opposite.
What?
Shushed you?
They shushed you?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. They'll take a fake phone call.
What?
Yeah.
They're too busy for you, and they're driving you.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I'm right. It's funny. Yeah, because like I'm friendly. Especially if they speak like Russian. If they speak Russian, then I'll try to talk to them in Russian, and then they will just stop talking. They would just stop. They would just stop talking. Maybe because I'm gay. Maybe because I'm gay.
I don't think that's probably why. I think, what are you talking to them about? Can I ask?
Mung diving. No. Wait, Guillermo. I'm not Guillermo. Sorry, Harvey. Sorry.
That's your name now.
I have a question for you. So, like, I feel like in the show, so 3 seasons now, they're like the sustained tension that is like so important in carrying this kind of like narrative weight is that Guillermo has not been turned into a vampire. Do you think he ever will be?
I think that sometimes we think what our dream and ambition is and what's best for us is what we're after. But sometimes the universe is like, look over here, bitch. Like, look over here. And I think that his goal is to be, well, I should say what I want for Guillermo is for him to be happy.
Yeah.
I think he's finding that. I think he's going through a little bit of crisis in like the end of season 3 when he like confronts Nandor, and like we also don't know what that relationship is. Where like, is he sticking around because he wants to be a vampire, or is he sticking around because they need him and he wants to be needed? And does he stick around? Sometimes it's good to be wanted. Yeah, And I feel like I wanted to get what he wants. And it might take a second, but overall, I want him to be happy. Will he become a vampire? I think that would be cool. I think it'd be cool.
I think it would be cool too. I think my interpretation is that Guillermo is in love with Nandor. It's a codependent, unrequited
relationship,
a little toxic relationship, but it's so sweet and lovely. But I think like the fuel that drives it is that like the yearning and not getting satisfied, and all that stuff. Like,
absolutely. I think it's we're all driven by something that we want, right? Like we're all. That's why I think people relate to Guillermo so much, is we're all Guillermos. Yeah, we've all been in a situation where we've been in a toxic relationship. We've been at a job that overlooks us for a promotion. We've been, defeated about something that we thought we were going to do and it didn't work out. We've all been Guillermo. So the reason that we follow the human familiar story, for lack of a better word, is because bitch, we're all him. You know, we're rooting for him because we root for each other. And that's what makes us human. We really do want each other to succeed and win. And sometimes we do get a little bit jealous because how come it's better for them? How come they're thriving? What am I doing wrong? And so I feel like Guillermo is in that world where he's doing everything by the book. But you know what? Sometimes you got to stop doing things by the book and do your own fucking way.
That's true.
Yeah.
I've never read a book in my life.
That's something I think the show does really well is it's sort of like musical theater where you guys are playing it like realistically under very unrealistic circumstances.
Yeah.
And so it's those moments like like when Guillermo's trying to have this chosen family moment and nobody's listening to him. Like,
yeah.
There's a little bit of heart, but then you're like, oh, right, this is a comedy show where nobody cares what he has to say.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. And I couldn't imagine it being any other way. And that's the first time that we see the vampires genuinely having any kind of past emotion they had as a human. Because remember, those days are long gone.
Right.
If we're making this the reality and we're grounded in this world, vampires haven't felt human emotions in a while. So for them to force themselves to go back to that place and be like, wow, do you like doing stuff, Guillermo? Wow, he likes and he knows it. It's so hard for Natasha, Naja to say those lines because she's trying so hard to be human. She's like, wow, you like stuff and he knows it. It's like, we're all a big fan. Spill the tea, you stupid bitch.
Yeah.
You know, just like those don't come natural. And that is really endearing to watch these vampires who are usually assholes. To have one moment of like, wow, you really are a boom planned. It's like, we got, chicken piccata had glass in it, so we got the dinner comped. It just ruins the moment.
And I have to say, like, it's one of those shows where moment to moment, I can't decide who my favorite character is.
Yes.
And then once in a while, Colin Robinson will come in and I'm like, this bitch turns the party. Every single line is like a laugh out loud delivery. It's so fucking funny.
I know he's such a good foil for the energy of the other characters, and it's so I would normally hate him or just be like, ugh, him again. But you're right. Like, I agree with Trixie. Like, he is just such a great just an antidote to the insanity of the and the over the top energy of the other characters.
Yeah, and it's good in doses, because if you were next to Colin for 24 hours nonstop, you would hate him, obviously. Sure. But since you get sprinkled and it's in doses and it's really well written and Mark does a great job with it. Like sometimes when Mark's offset, just because, that's a speaking voice. So when he'll just be talking to something, he'll like fuck with us. And I can't tell if he's literally just taking us for a ride. Like he'll talk about something and he will become Colin Robinson. Like he'll be talking about something. He's like, my wife and I, we went shopping for a wine glass. And I was like, I don't know if you're joking right now because you're literally draining the fuck out of me right now.
And he is sort of the master of that.
No one tops Mark when it comes to that. Like that is his
his bread and butter. Because he was, I forget whose character's name was on The Office, but he served it up every time in The Office too.
No one does what Mark does better. Like that's his bread and butter. Like that's his jam. Yeah.
And bald, white, frumpy representation. Thank God.
Hello. Finally.
He is the bald and the beautiful.
There's hope for us, boring baldies. Maybe I could get a job in 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Mediocre white men. We need representation. We need it now.
I can learn a couple of lines.
Yeah. By the way, and the revolving door of superstar guest stars you guys get. I mean, like Marissa Jarrett Whittaker, like Evan Rachel Wood.
Kristen Shaw is
Kristen
fantastic.
Shaw.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm such a 30 Rock fan that I was fangirl, and I'm such a Broadway fan that I didn't have any scenes with Marissa. I went to set that day, even though I was off that day from work.
Oh,
it was
really?
My own day off. And I went to set because, I think I made a tradition, like if there's a guest star on any of the shows that I do, it's nice to go say hello. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, hello, welcome to the show. Like, it's like, nothing feels worse than guest star in a show and no one saying anything. You know what I mean? Like you get to guest on a show and you see the leads walk by and they're too busy with their frappuccino or something. And they don't say anything. You're like, hi, okay.
And they flick their cigarette at your face.
It's just like,
in the eye.
In the eye. There's an ashtray right there. But like the fact that I made it a long time ago, like that's not how I, like to work. So I make it a point to like say hello, make them feel welcome, like make them feel included. We have guest stars this year that we can't announce yet.
Oh, can you give me a hint or no?
Is it Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mother? It is, isn't it?
It's Solange.
It's Solange.
Okay, fine. I'll say it's Solange. Yeah, absolutely.
Woo!
I would love to see. My dream list of guest stars would be like I would love to see Amy Sedaris as a vampire council member. That would be so beyond.
Can I tell you, I'm not even making this up. That is literally the first person on my list. I've literally told casting, I was like, is there any way that we could get, and they're like, oh no, because so our casting director out of New York cast Amy's last show at home with Amy Sedaris.
Wait, obsessed.
So
obsessed.
Okay, bitch. I'm obsessed. Stranger with Candy was my thing. Like I watched it on repeat. Like I'm obsessed with Amy Sedaris, and people don't give her like the credit she deserves because she's a comic genius. Yeah. And I literally was filming a movie, and the casting director got an offer from Amy's show for me to come do the show, and they told. Okay, wait though. And they told them, oh, he's filming a movie because I also cast him in this movie. So they said no to the project without ever telling me. The casters are like, oh, I wanted to tell you that they wanted you for that show, but I knew you were filming. And I was like, oh, we moved production like a week. I was off that week. And I was
that is so disappointing. I
was devastated because I was like, that was my chance to meet Amy. So everyone knows me.
And
I'm obsessed.
That show is on the level of your show. Like it's that funny.
I mean, oh my God, anything like a nosy neighbor, like anything,
a mailman,
totally
anything. Make it. I literally have been saying this like anything. She just drops off a box. I don't care. Like it's like anything. And I think at one point they looked in, her schedule was her show. Obviously she was working on it. So it's just the timing. Sometimes you want people really badly and people want to come on our show as well. Like they put in their 2 cents and they've like sent like, hey, let me know. But there's no, like the writers have already written the season. Right. And there's nothing that like, it wouldn't be fair to the storyline if we just included everybody who wants to come play because...
If you included everybody who loves your show, it would just be a talk show.
It'd be 3 hours long an episode. 3 hours an episode. Yeah.
We're only a 21-minute show. So.
God, is that? I know, and it's so short. It's
so short. I wish it was literally It should be the Drag Race queen size episodes. 90 minutes every time.
At least 40. Give me 40 fucking minutes. Like that.
You know what's so funny that like in the UK and BBC they show the episode and they don't show commercials because it's they just don't show commercials on TV there. So our show is so quick they put 2 episodes usually back to back to make it 45 minutes.
There you go. Yeah.
Only because we don't have commercials there, but since we live in America, they do need the commercials. So then, like 1 is enough. But we always start with 2 episodes. So the season premiere usually starts with 2 episodes.
Thank
so that's
God.
Your big bang.
Yeah, thank God. I love the smells of the season. Thanks to Native's new seasonal scents, my favorites are with me wherever I go. Yes, I'm talking about their deodorant. Native deodorant is formulated with ingredients you have actually heard of, like coconut oil and shea butter. Native deodorant never uses aluminum, parabens, or sulfates, but still keeps you smelling amazingly fresh all day long. With classics and rotating seasonals, Native has a deodorant scent for everyone, including their new holiday-inspired collection, Candy Cane, Sugar Cookie, and Fresh Mistletoe. I happen to love the sugar cookie one because I like smelling like cookies. It makes me feel good and happy. Native is not just good for you, it's good for the planet. They have a deodorant made of 100% paperboard packaging. They're vegan and never test on animals. And I'm not alone in loving Native. They have over 15,000 5-star reviews. I know you're going to love them too. I personally love the sugar cookie scent because it keeps me smelling fresh all day long, even when I work out and I'm active and I do lots of stuff. Keep the scents of the season with you with Native's limited time holiday scented deodorants. Go to nativedeodorant.com and use code BALD to get 20% off your first purchase at checkout. That's nativedeodorant.com, code BALD for 20% off. Nativedeodorant.com, code BALD. Can we talk underwear for a second? Listen, I wear a lot of underwear in a lot of different
ones.
let me talk. Let's talk underwear for a second. I wear a lot of underpants, and I wear a lot of different kinds all at once. I'll paint a picture. I wear underwear as a boy, and then I get into drag, and then I have a different body shape, and then I need a different pair of underwear. Sometimes it depends on what costume I'm wearing. I need different shapes, different, sexy, not sexy. It's a whole thing. So I'm so frustrated buying underwear in the store that look terrible on. That's where Parade comes in. They're all about championing self-expression, inclusivity, and diversity. They want everyone to feel comfortable and confident. All Parade underwear is super affordable and so insanely comfortable and soft, you'll forget you're wearing them. With sizes ranging from extra small to triple extra large, Parade has something for everybody. You name a size, a style, or a color, and Parade has it. Speaking of styles, they're known for launching super fun, limited edition collections from seasonal prints to more neutral shades, which is exactly what I need when I'm doing a photo shoot and I'm playing different characters. I need lots of different sizes and lots of different colors, and Parade's got me covered. I've got Parade's neutrals, I've got their lacy, I've got their sexy, I've got, you name it, I've got it. They get the job done and they feel fantastic. Upgrade your underwear drawer like I did with Parade. Head to yourparade.com/bald and use code BALD to get 20% off your first order. That's yourparade.com/bald. Code BALD for 20% off your first order. Yourparade.com/bald. Code BALD. What are some of your favorite shows just in general that you love to watch?
Right now, I'm going down a rabbit hole of reality TV since I'm a housewife fanatic.
Okay.
Bitch.
I'm just obsessed. What is happening with
what franchise are you watching?
Oh, the Beverly Hills with Erica Jane. Like, what is that whole
Is that
thing
who was Hunky Dory? Is that from Beverly Hills?
Yes, that's Kathy Hilton.
Okay.
Yeah. Who's a national treasure?
That's all I know
now
about
she's a staple. Yeah, Kathy Hilton. Yeah. I love that one. I love the New York. It's the Salt Lake one has another,
girl. Salt Lake is doing what none of the girls are doing, and it's kind of under the radar.
It's great. It's amazing. Like, and then Jen Shaw. Oh my God. I'm just watching every minute, and like that's how I like completely decompress. Like I just like go home after doing comedy, and like it's so great, and then watching these housewives and their stories. A housewife, another guest star that could potentially.
Yes, but God. I mean, your show is like a faux. It's not a reality show, but it's a faux doc, but it is faux reality. So I would think having a healthy dose of reality is probably good for you.
You should have Kathy. You should have Kathy Hilton on there.
Oh my God!
Yeah, she comes and knocks on the door and says, "Who's Hunky Dory?"
Instant kill.
Was there a moment where like? Scott Bakula was like, because they thought he was related to Dracula. Was that what
and they call him and he's in Sherman Oaks in his home.
Fucking stupid. So stupid. So stupid.
Girl, the Zoom meeting, the FaceTime, the Blade.
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes on a laptop.
Fucking legendary. So fucking good.
Also, whoever thought of like, okay, in this universe, if you've ever played a vampire in a movie, you are a vampire in real life.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Good.
We follow the rules. Like we follow the rules of like, anything from, Interview with the Vampire, even the kickball scene, which was, it's so funny because I was with Catherine Hardwicke last night. We went to see a movie here in Toronto. She's filming here. And she directed Twilight, the first one. And so she was like, she was watching the show and then literally texted me, was like, "Wait, did you guys do?" I was like, "Yep, you directed it and we took it and now we did it on our show."
So good.
The kickball scene, it was just like it's just like we're not above that. Like we're not above like throwing a wink to like, what we're talking about. Right. You saw the fucking movie. It's like it's
that's awesome.
Those movies are really, Katya just did a recap of it, and those movies are really on another level.
They are totally out of this world, unhinged, crazy,
just
wild,
crazy.
Wild, crazy, wild.
Yeah. Ever since COVID started, I've been like you, Harvey. I've been having I don't have a strong reality TV foundation. Like I haven't seen the classics. So during COVID, we watched The Simple Life, and I watched Top Model for the first time and all that. And now I'm watching Wife Swap from the beginning.
Oh.
And none of the girls are doing what Wife Swap is doing. No. Taking a military family and swapping it with like a bunch of like peace loving hippies and just letting them scream at each other. I mean, it's crazy. Crazy.
Oh, my favorite is that one lady who's like, the devil. Like,
the God Warrior. Her name is Marguerite.
Yeah. Oh, the one who was like tarot cards. Gargoyles. Yeah.
Gargoyles, psychics,
Be gone.
It's pretty crazy. Actually, that might have been Trading Spouses.
Oh, was it? Might have been.
Because Trading Spouses, I believe, is the one where they get to give the other family $10,000. I really don't know.
If they see it through, right? If they have to see it through, like they have to say like 3 days, you have to live with them for 3 days, something like that. But that might be right. It's also the same time frame, right? It's around the 90s, like Wife Swap and Trading Spouses. Oh, it was Trading Spouses, and she's I think she might even be gay now. No,
come on.
Well, here's an article. 14 years after her infamous appearance on Trading Spouses, we talked to Marguerite Perrin about her lasting internet fame and embracing the LGBT. Oh, so she likes gays now.
Oh, she's down with the girls.
That's good.
She's just
she's a gay warrior.
She's down.
Okay.
She's a gay warrior.
I also love, like, speaking of gay, I just love that Laszlo is, like, just so bisexual, pansexual, whatever, and just talks about sucking dick and cock all the time.
Well, all the vampires are queer.
Really? Yeah.
All the vampires are queer, yeah, because if you remember, there was an episode where Laszlo and Nandor don't get off, and they're, like, waiting by the room. They're like, so do you want to? We should. And they go in and finish each other off in the room.
That's right.
Yeah. And I love what we do about the show is that being queer is not the demise of anyone. Being queer is part of their life, and it's just intertwined into the story. Yeah. And it's never the topic of conversation. It's never like, oh, I think they're queer. Because that's what most, you know what I mean?
It's also, like, not even interesting. Like, it's not interesting enough. But
it's because for so long, it's, like, you know, been, you know, a taboo in mainstream television or American culture where it's just like, and the character is gay. You know what I mean? It's almost like the gay character is always going to have the demise of, like, their life. Oh, and they came out and they lose their job because they came out and they and it's like it all falls apart. Right. And in this world, being queer is you're thriving and you happen to be queer and you're thriving.
Totally.
Yeah, that's it. Because that's reality. That's life. People have everyday lives and they happen to be queer.
Right. I also like that it's handled. It's sort of like, you know, these vampires have been alive for so long. It's sort of like a later stage of evolution that they are a little queer and don't even care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you know, exactly right. Like the idea that if you lived for hundreds of years and you had nothing to lose, what do you have to fear? The reason that people are so scared is because society makes them scared to come out and be queer. But if everyone had nothing to lose and you were going to live your life and you're a vampire and you can defend yourself, you have no fear. You're like, I love this. I love that. I love everything. What are you going to say about it? Because there's no fear. We live in a world where, like, the fear holds us back. But if we lived in a world where everyone just fucking be queer, if you want to be queer and let people be queer. God,
you know what else I'm glad made a comeback this season? Creepy paper.
Oh, yeah. That wasn't on the script.
I love the creepy paper. I love the creepy paper.
It was such a good throwback. Because that, for some reason, that has, like, stuck in my brain.
I love the creepy paper.
It wasn't in the script originally, and I threw it in. I didn't think they were going to use it. And I just remember it was like, we have to bring it back. And, like, we're shooting season 4 now. We're halfway through. And there's some things that Kayla and I were talking about. Oh, yeah, that's right. From season 1, remember? And so there's always those moments of, like, we should do a little bit of, like, people like that. People who are really paying attention will notice those little, like, things.
Yes. So
can I ask how much do you guys break and who breaks the most?
I would say most of my scenes recently or in the first 3 seasons were with Kayvon. And so I would say Kayvon breaks the most because he's so fucking funny. But he always makes fun of me because I'm such like Guillermo's grounded and he's not, over the top kid. Like the vampires are so bigger than life, I could never make Guillermo that level because they're like, whatever, blah, blah. Like they're yelling at the top of their lungs. Natasha's character is yelling all the time at Laszlo. Laszlo's just talking with his inflection. And Guillermo has to be subtle and has to be grounded. Right. So he's no longer than a softer whisper, because he's afraid to step out of line for the first 2 seasons because they'll demote him. And so I'm always really grounded. It's so hard to stay grounded in Guillermo character all the time. And then here's Kayvon making a joke and he laughs at his own joke. And I'm like, stop. And he's just like, okay, I won't do it. Yeah. And then, and he like breaks character and just like laughs at his own joke. And I'm like, we just had a take the other night where it was a martini shot for the night. And like, Kayvon got the giggles and just couldn't stop laughing. And I was like, stop. Because then I start doing it too. And then once I get going, it's just tears down my eyes and like, I can't stop. So it's hard just to keep grounded as Guillermo. And then on top of that, trying not to laugh at how hilarious Kayvon is. Like, it's like this containment of a bomb that's about to go off. And it's so hard. And eventually it just has to explode.
I wonder what that's like. I've always wondered what it's like to laugh with a co-star.
Oh, shut up. You know what? I do think about that. We are lucky because our job is to make each other laugh.
Yeah. We have to laugh. Yeah.
Like especially since we have no audience, we're supposed to just try to make each other laugh.
Yeah.
I think it would be really fucking hard because I think once it starts, it gets worse. Like when I've had to do stage productions with Peaches and stuff, once something is funny, it's like, what do you do?
It's funny. You can't. You're feeling what the audience is feeling, so they're going to laugh at this.
Yeah.
And that's what we also know when something's going to be good.
Yeah.
When the actors can't keep it together. Yeah. My favorite memory is being in season 1 and our boom guy, who's these guys have been around, like they've seen it every show. They're never like half of the time they probably don't even know what the storyline is because they're like another show that's a gig, they're doing it. And he's holding the boom And our crew is so lovely and they love our show so much. They go above and beyond and they're like paying attention to everything. So even the boom guy was like watching and he got the giggles and he started shaking.
Oh, see, I love that. That's
so the
my
boom started
favorite
shaking
thing.
And eventually it kind of fell and it got into the shot. And I was like, that's it. That's the one.
Yeah.
If the boom guy who's heard it all, who's seen it all, is shaking and he's slapping inside so much and he can't even hold it together and he drops the boom, that we know it's a good joke.
Yeah.
We know it's a good scene.
You look down, the boom is on the floor, and then you see a boner in his pants. That's how you know. That's how you know. You really got him. You really got him, gal.
Well, in Drag Race, that's the only time I ever cared is if a camera person laughed. That's the only time I ever cared.
Yep, totally. Like if
you have nothing else to go off, right?
Yeah,
if you quiet.
You do these little talking head things, like where it's just you know, answering questions from an interviewer, like, you know, the 3 or 4 other, you know, sound and audio guys in the room, like. I always try to make them laugh. And if I can hear them giggle, I know I'm on the right track. But otherwise, it can be pretty grim. Yeah. Hi, guys. Let's talk about Green Chef. Green Chef has a meal plan for every healthy lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, plant-powered diet, or even if you just want to have delicious but balanced dishes over the week. Green Chef's expert chefs curate every recipe, even with over 30 meal choices every week, and the flexibility to switch plans. You'll never have to sacrifice taste for nutrition. You can enjoy restaurant quality dishes in the comfort of your own home. They have new and nutritious recipes each week that are perfect for you and the whole family. I loved the chicken and butternut squash hash with chard, sun-dried tomatoes, hazelnuts, and lemon aioli. I didn't even know what chard was, but it was delicious. And I actually cooked it by myself. I hate cooking, but I had a great time with the recipe, and I will definitely order it again. Go to greenchef.com/bald125 and use code BALD125 to get $125 off, including free shipping. That's greenchef.com/bald125 and use code BALD125 to get $125 off, including free shipping. Green Chef, the #1 meal kit for eating well.
The set this season 3, it's like the house is getting bigger. We're finding these new areas. And I'm like, the sets are so... There was this scene like a couple episodes ago where you walked in and Laszlo was playing the piano. And I was like, look at this fucking room. I don't think we'd ever seen that room from that angle.
That's the music room. The music room.
Look at this room.
Yeah, the music room has been added. We've added a new room to this season. So you'll be seeing a new room. And if you noticed last season, season 3, we had the Chamber of Curiosities, which is that giant like Harry Potter looking library with the lantern. So that took like that goes to our, you know, set designer who's amazing. And they designed that during a pandemic. Like they couldn't even go to like, you know, Home Depot to get wood to build this.
Oh my God.
The fact that they built a brand new set during a pandemic safely, it took 6 months to build that set.
Jesus
6 months to build that beautiful set. And it has opening doors, like the shelves open and they reveal the world. Where the jalopy was. Remember the jalopy episode with the car?
So absurd. The fucking car inside.
Yeah, the library has a VHS porn section that like is from top to bottom. Like the detail. I walk into this set and I see some stuff that I'm like, I went to the fancy room, is where from the pilot episode where we had the meetings in the fancy room. And I went to the desk and I looked at a bunch of pile of papers and there's like fake dust and everything. And then I pulled one of the papers out. And I opened it. It was a Disneyland map from 1969 in their stuff. And I was like, what? How is this? Should this be here? This is an original map from like Disney. Like, and it was just hidden in our shelves because everything has to be antique and old. And what's that story there? Like, there's a story there that we could pull from. Like, at one point, did they go to Disney? Wait, did they? Like, what?
Wow.
Like, so the stories that you can just pull from the library alone, like the books that are there, like it's insane.
It's really crazy. But then again, when everybody's in like high horde vampire drag, it would be absurd if the environment wasn't on that level.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It has to be up to par.
And the lighting is so fucking fierce. The lighting is so great.
Girl.
It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
And there's so many little stupid running jokes when you've watched the show as long as so religiously as we have. I mean, every time there's a new season, when it's over, I just start it again.
Yeah.
And yelling bat whenever you fly, stupid. So stupid. So funny. And then you know what I want to come back to? I mean, I know it's not like a full lifetime yet. That guy that Nadia every lifetime like almost falls in love with him.
Was it Jeff?
Jeff?
Oh, yeah. She's like, is it Jib?
Jib?
Jerem?
Jess.
So funny.
He's great. He's wonderful. He was in the pilot, and he came back as a ghost. Remember? He came back as a ghost. And that looked cool. That was our first episode of season 2. Yeah.
The ghost episode was so good.
Yeah.
So good. And those are like, it's hard to do because all those characters are the same characters. So like you have to like get dressed into full drag for like, the vampires, and then get out of drag to play the ghost in their drag, and then be in lights and blah, blah. So those were so hard to shoot because it's the same person talking to each other. Like it's very like Parent Trap, the original one.
Yeah.
It's very Parent Trap, like where like it's like, and the horse was a ghost. We had a
girl.
Horse.
Yeah.
John.
John,
my horse John. And that's how we also got the Nadia baby doll though, which is so fucking crazy.
The doll.
So insane.
I said they have to make that doll. Everyone has now at this point has a catchphrase, and I think for everyone like Bat, and this fucking guy, or Guillermo, or for Guillermo it used to be my name's Guillermo La Cruz, and then just recently I've noticed through the fan base online that like the new quote that they chose for him is "You live because I let you live."
Yeah, and
that scene was so fierce. That came out of nowhere, and like as a viewer, you go, "Oh my god, I never realized that Guillermo might really be able to whoop his ass."
Yeah.
I mean, or go toe to toe. Absolutely, yeah.
Like the power shift, you're like, "Oh my god, this has been." It really reminds you of like. Guillermo now is just really letting them feel powerful.
Yeah. And remember that everyone has their limits. And I think that's the good thing. And the nice thing I like about Guillermo is that everyone can be pushed. Everyone can be pushed to your limits. You're a nice guy until you're not. And you made me a bad guy. You know what I mean? It's like there's no reason not to be nice. And if you just continue to push people, you don't know what they're capable of. It's like, don't try me. Like, try me.
Yeah.
Just like that idea.
I guess we could wrap it up here. But I mean, congratulations on just you're so great.
Yeah.
You really make this show so great. I can't believe, I'm so happy you, through luck and magic and talent, are on just the best show on TV.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. That's really kind.
Thank you so much for taking some time out of your very hectic vampire slaying schedule to be with us here today.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? I'm such a fan. I'm like so giddy.
Oh yeah, you love the Drag Race. You love the girls.
Bitch, that's the best thing about getting famous on Drag Race is that cool fucking celebrities with actual talent are fans of us. That is that is like
I love it. I keep saying I haven't been a judge on Drag Race, but I want to. So find it.
Have to
hook it up.
Have to. Oh my god,
hook it up.
Okay, I'll hook that up and then hook this up. If there's ever a Russian transvestite vampire character,
no, I do, Mama. I can go from this to Gollum in about 12 minutes. So like it's a real easy fix. Just like.
Yeah, or even easier, if you need like a disgusting,
haggard, 172-year-old vampire troll swamp thing, Mama, I'll do my own makeup. It'll be flawless.
I'll do my own
kidding
makeup.
Me? I literally have already put you both on like the list for casting. I was like, if there's anything, and like Trixie knows, like I literally die. I'm like, I want to work with people that like I'm such a fan of. I love. Yes, it's gonna happen. Hook it up.
By the way, this is the 7 degrees of separation. Kate Beckinsale loves Katya, who played a vampire in Underworld.
And not only that, you mentioned Judy Greer a little while ago.
Judy Greer, yeah.
Yeah, I worked with her. I don't know how that's relevant. And
it's so connected.
I worked with her at the Petco.
Yeah. Well, I followed her home from the supermarket one day.
Close enough.
Yeah.
Oh, can you let the girls know where they can find you?
Oh, yeah, please. How can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Twitter, on Instagram, just my full name, Harvey Guillén, on Twitter and Instagram.
How do you spell that? G-U-I...
G-U-I-L-L-E-N.
Got it.
And you spell Harvey, H-A-R-V-E-Y. Harvey Guillén. Call now.
Thank you for coming on, babe. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
God.
I love you both. I'm such a fan. And thank you so much for watching the show. It means the world.
Oh my God.
When is the next season coming out?
Next season is coming out next year. So
that's my problem. I want it like Big Brother. I want it on every night, hour long.
I know. But look at it this way, because you know, if you look at the math, we shot season 3 in January of this year till April, and you already binged all through that. So we finished a full season in 1 year and started a new season in the same year. So we did 2 seasons in 10 months.
I'm sorry, it's not fast enough.
It's not fast enough. You people don't need sleep, okay? You don't need sleep.
Awesome.
Go.
Thank you
right,
so
bye,
much.
Honey.
Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much. Love you.
Yay, bye.
Bye.